Hey guys, do you guys know who Roddy Ricch is? He sounds familiar. I just don't remember him at all. So he says Roddy Ricch lost 83% of his audience. I don't remember who he is. Like, I have no idea.
Such a strange
He was
artist. He blew up
familiar,
years ago
but
off the smash hit, and it went diamond. You couldn't get away from his song in the box. But as the years will go on, we see Roddy Ricch really disappear. But what happened? What made him disappear? See, Roddy had been making music for a minute before he even blew up for real. He was locked in with Nipsey Hussle. He was locked in with some of these West Coast artists, and he had him a little catalog. Then he comes out, drops this smash hit on a solid album, and now everything was bigger. He drops the box. It's this whole anthem, 2020 anthem you couldn't get away from. It was one of them songs that people was playing so much that people started to not like. But not only did he have this smash song, this big hit with it, he also dropped a pretty solid album. Please excuse me for being antisocial. This album.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that's why you look for me. Okay, all right. Again, I legit forgot who he was. I legit forgot. I mean, I guess I'm part of that 83%. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't like actually listening to him or anything like that. But like, yeah, I just legit forgot who he was, man. Like, holy shit.
Album was decent. It was good and people enjoyed it a lot. So people would listen to the box. They'd be like, okay, who's Roddy Ricch? Like, let me tap into Roddy Ricch for real. And they went, go listen to the album. They're like, damn, like, I like this. When the next one coming out? And that's the problem. We didn't know the next one coming out. And the next album wouldn't come out for years. So think about it. Roddy Ricch, this basically brand new artist to the industry. Yeah, he had been making music for a while, but he wasn't this big established name that you would think of when you think of rappers, right? So he drops this smash hit. People looking at him, he got eyes on him. He has one project out. He got Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial. That was his latest release. People heard it. People was like, I like it. What else do he got coming for us? Because you got to keep in mind.
What I'm drawing? Oh, I'm drawing my one of my final pieces for.
People are people. They like new things. The album came out. People enjoyed it for a minute, couple months, maybe even a year. But then people start to wonder, when are we getting another project? When are you gonna follow up to something?
I'm gonna say this about the music industry. I think Drake ruined the music industry in a way where like people became so impatient now, where people expect artists to create a new album within a year. Some artists need 2 years to 3 years. Let them cook, I guess you could say. Because again, you do not want to release albums like Drake, in my personal opinion, where his most of his albums are really forgettable, in my personal opinion. They're very forgettable. They're very sloppy. They have no really that much concepts. Some do, some don't. And the only reason why he sells some of his current stuff is because he's that big of an artist at this point, right? It's just very hard for him to fail. Because even if he like brings out one of the worst albums out there, people will still buy. Like, you know what I mean? But like a thing is, like, people need to realize there's just some like artists that just want to take out their time and bring out concepts and storytelling within their art, aka their albums and stuff. And it's like let them do what they need to do. Like, I don't know. Like, not everything has to come out every single year, bro.
Something this good. And this is where he messed up. He didn't drop anything for years and years and years, and he starved the fan base that he just created. See, in the music space, hip hop, there's not a lot of artists that can go years and years and years without dropping music and then come out, drop something, and it's big and it sells a lot and the fans love it. That's not often that can happen. And Roddy Ricch was not established enough in music to be able to do something like that. Yeah, he had a smash hit, but a smash hit don't equal a steady fan base. But in between this wait, a lot would go down. We would have Roddy Ricch basically going to war with the industry. It was a lot of people in the music industry.
Yes, I did. I love the music, and also with Initial D, I do remember about his girlfriend. Feels bad, man. Feels effing bad.
Mad, feeling some type of way because Roddy took over everything. He had the #1 spot. He had the #1 album. He had all the eyes on, because after he drops this music and the big song, it's on the charts for a long time, and as he was holding the #1 spot, people came in, they wanted the #1 spot. Selena Gomez, for example, her ass was mad because Roddy Ricch album was #1 and hers wasn't #1. She was online crying about it. She was like,
really?
Yo, this album just means a lot to me and I wanted it to go #1. And she was really hurting about this album not going number one. But it wasn't just Selena Gomez. Right at the same time that she was fighting for this spot, we also had Justin Bieber fighting for the spot. But Justin Bieber took it to the extreme. He didn't treat it like how Selena Gomez treated it. He didn't just get online a little angry. He got online wanting it bad. Justin Bieber had this song Yummy that came out right around the time the box was
really
hot, right? And Justin Bieber was really fiending for this to go number one. He was.
I'm sorry, Yummy? No, bro, that song sucked ass, bro. What the fuck she's talking about? If it was like song like Peaches, I could see why people will put that one number one, because Peaches is a vibe. It's a good song. But Yummy, bro, that's just a horrendous song. Like, what? Who the hell wants to listen to Yummy, bro? I'm just saying, dude.
Begging his fans to stream the album. He was like, look, can y'all just make a playlist full of the song and let it play all the time and all night while you sleep, but you got to keep it on this specific volume so it counts as an actual stream. He basically was.
Because I'm going to say this, Justin Bieber's best album was Purpose from 2015. After that, obviously, I haven't fully listened to it no more. But I feel like, yeah, the 2015 album Purpose was the one, like, his best work, in my personal opinion. But this right here, How to Get Yummy to number one, it's like, Yummy, bro? Like, come on, dude. It's just a novelty, like, song. I didn't say you said the word, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's just there. You know, people probably vibe to it, but then just forget about it. That's how I feel about it.
Was trying to force his way to number one. He was begging his fans, trying to start a whole trend on Twitter, just asking people, can y'all get this to go number one? I need Yummy number one. I need this, I need that. And it came with a lot of backlash because this.
You do one thing that's for sure too is also, it may not be the artist, it may just be his label or his manager's been doing that, by the way. The marketing and all that, by the way.
A man who been in the industry for a decade. Justin Bieber has been around for a real long time. And Roddy Ricch was this hot new artist who just got his first number one. And you trying to take it away from him by forcing your fans to listen to it while they sleeping. The situation ended up getting so big that there was articles being written on the situation. One article wrote this: Justin Bieber and his team have taken some measures to promote his new single Yummy that has been met with criticism in recent days. While the Bieber track may not land at number one on Billboard Hot 100, Roddy Ricch is the box is projected to take the top spot. It won't be from a lack of promotion. Bieber also appeared to share and delete a repost on IG in which specific fan-made instructions were given on how to best stream the song to ensure higher stats on major platforms.
That's crazy.
The post instructed fans to, among other things, create a playlist with
Selena
Yummy on repeat with the intention of letting said playlist ride while one sleep. The instructions also included the suggestion of utilizing a VPN service for those overseas. The post originated from a seemingly fan-operated IG account and includes multiple slides under the heading on how to get Yummy to number one. Think about how crazy that is. He was asking his fans to stream it with a VPN if they wasn't in the US so he can make his sales go up in the US. That's kind of insane. But back to Roddy Ricch, he was making a lot of impact. Like, you come out here and you drop this smash hit, people are interested in you. They want to know what you got going on. They want to know what you working on. But the months will go by and Roddy wouldn't drop no music. He wouldn't really feed the fans. What people would see from him though is controversy. Late 2020, Roddy Ricch was in some controversy, right? He was in this new lawsuit and they were saying that he owed back $200,000 in rent and damages, and it was looking crazy for him. People was like, what you got going on? Hip Hop DX wrote this. Roddy,
you know what reminds me, now that I think about it, Roddy Ricch reminds me of Playboi Carti. You know how people are mad about Playboi Carti about not dropping an album? It's been forever since dropping an album. People want it, people want to hear it. I'm gonna say this to me personally, guys. I don't know what people hear about Playboi Carti. I'm not a big fan of his music. I listen to his albums. Because again, I'm a hip hop enthusiast where, like, even though I don't fully like the style of the hip hop, I try to be like non-biased, I guess you could say. Just like fully listening to the concept or like through the first album to the first song to the last song. And then so people think like when I say I don't like an album, that it means that I hate all the songs, which is not true. Just like the latest tracks for like what do you call it? Drake. But the whole concept or like the whole lineup of like Drake's album, the 21 songs, um, yeah, that album was garbage. It's like a whole album, 21 songs real, only like 3 or 4 are really memorable, and that's it. And so that for me personally, it's a bad album. Does that mean every single song is bad? No, it's just like for me, it's just like the whole thing just doesn't work. It was just slob after slob after slob. It's just it's forgettable music. And so yeah, with Playboy Cardi, I gave it a try and I listened, and I just wasn't feeling it. I just don't see what people hear fully right now. And maybe I don't know, maybe I'll get another try later, but maybe his latest album. But yeah, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Ricch is currently staring down the barrel of a lawsuit that alleges he owes over $200,000 in backed rent and damages. According to the blast, a lawsuit filed by a California company, AIM Property Investment Incorporated, claims Roddy incurred the damages from a home he signed a 1-year lease at in the beginning of April. The lawsuit accuses him of breaching the terms of his tenancy agreement after the landlord accused him of not paying rent for the first of the month for July and the month following. He purposely gave up possession of the home in August, but the controversy didn't slow down after that. A few months later, 2021 comes around, and the fans still didn't have an album. Keep in mind, his last project released in 2019, and people was in 2021 and still didn't have a Roddy Ricch album. So he had real life problems going on, and he had problems with people that he thought supported him. Because like I said, he didn't have an established fan base. He wasn't in a position in his career to take a 3-year gap from music. Speaking on the music topic, he was shooting a music video this one day in 2021, and this music video shoot didn't really go how he planned it to. It ended up with some shots going off, and sadly 2 people did get hit, but nobody passed away. People was wondering, what do Roddy really got going on? And around this time, a few months later, we would see what he had going on. He would come out and drop his first album in years. This project did not live up at all to his first project. And then this project that he followed it up with was not follow-up worthy. It didn't have no really big songs on there. The songs was lackluster. It wasn't what people was expecting Roddy to follow up his last project with. And when it came out, it was getting a lot of backlash. People was,
you know what? I should say that I feel like that is a good argument. I forgot to say, if you do take forever for an album to drop, by the way, it could really backfire on you because the hype's so big. If you don't live up to the hype, your album sales and your quality of your album will go down. You're automatically like sort of like you know, like you like some people take a late test and you automatically go down a grade. Like if you get 100, you'll get a B, right? That's what like some people just did on teachers did. So it's kind of like that, where like if an album takes too long, your album is no longer be able to be, it's a 10 at this point, unless you super impress the teacher, I guess you could say, in this case like the listener. It will always start at like 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. That's your score automatically, and then from there you go down. But 8 is like your perfect score. But the reason it won't be a 10 out of 10 is because like the hypeness and like what people were expecting, etc. And so I think that's what's gonna happen with Playboy Cardi. If this album, whatever he's gonna drop, does not live to the hype for the people, yeah, that is gonna be like really bad. But I like again, I don't know if it's gonna backfire on him or it's gonna work for him. We don't know. It has done. It worked before. So, and another artist that does that is like Kendrick Lamar. Like when people were waiting for Mr. Morale, people weren't disappointed. People somewhere, not everybody's happy with it, but it sold very, very well. And then obviously the recent album too as well. So it's like, again, some artists could do it, some artists cannot do it, you know. And it's like he was one of the artists who just couldn't live up to the hype. It is like, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of the career. It's over for him. By the way, you could just continue to try again and do better, you know.
It's like, nigga, you made us wait all of this time for this right here. You made us wait for this album. We waited years. His core fan base waited that long to get what he dropped. And at that point, his career was really hurting. Because if you go years without dropping an album, that's one thing. But if you go years without dropping an album and that album ain't hitting like it's supposed to, that's a completely other thing. And his problem was he wasn't feeding the streets. People was getting tired of the wait, and people was wondering what his next album was gonna be. And it wasn't like he had some hot snippets building up to the album. It wasn't like he had a single that people was looking forward to on his album. He just came out and released it. The criticism this album got was interesting, and I feel like if this was an album that came out right after Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial, or maybe this came out in 2020, late 2020, people wouldn't have been so harsh on the project. But to make your fans wait so long and to not just give your best piece of work, something that people was gonna love, it hurt him a lot. It gave him a lot of bad reception and bad press. And when this happened to Roddy Ricch, the talk around his name already wasn't that good. And
so like, couldn't like artists avoid this by doing features or something like that with other artists that collabs and stuff, or do like one single, like 1 or 2 singles, like throughout those 2-3 years? Because I believe that's what like a lot of artists like do take their time. Like J. Cole, he does that. Kendrick Lamar does that. Even Drake does that too. Even when he doesn't release his own project, he does features. He does some singles here and there, I believe. So it's like, I wonder why he didn't decide like, oh, you know what? Let's make a like a single. You know, like a little sneak peek of what the album could be, pretty much.
And then this just added on top. This just made his whole reputation look a lot worse than what it already was. But it wasn't just backlash that came with this album, it was also sales. The album sold 60K, and Please Excuse Me for Antisocial sold 101,000 copies first week. And that's a big decrease. And from this moment forward, like I said, his career broke. People treated him different. And I mean,
it's not
people
bad.
was treating Roddy so bad that there was a point in time where he had to deactivate all of his social media accounts.
Yeah.
Roddy had posted some snippets after this album came out. He wanted to make a little comeback. He was like, you know what? People's doing all this hating when I dropped this last album. Let me spin back. Let me show them what I've been working on. And he drops this snippet, and people hated it. People clowned him so bad it was like trending everywhere. Roddy had to deactivate his Twitter. He had to deactivate his social media because he didn't want to see the controversy no more. This is another one of them situations that just got so big to the point where there were articles being written on how much people hated this snippet. One article on the situation wrote this. Apparently, Roddy Ricch cannot take criticism. Yesterday, February 5th, the Compton rapper shared a snippet of an unreleased song called Out of My Mind. Unfortunately, the feedback from his fans were less than stellar, and many accused the Grammy Award-winning artist of falling.
Here's the thing too. I think it's a good idea to do snippets, like see how people are feeling about the song, and get a criticism and advice from actual people, not just dumbass people that are just gonna say, "Oh, this sucks ass." I think it's very smart to do that, especially like before you put so much time into a project, give people a tease of the set project. If people are not feeling it, then release another teaser of the song that you made, but make it different, make it better. Like, yeah.
Off. It appears as though many people were not happy with the snippet of Roddy Ricch singing the chorus to the song. One user said bad mixing, and he doesn't even have that energy we know him for on this track. I understand trying new things and innovating, but this could have went harder if he had better lyrics. Another person wrote, this snippet is pretty trash. He needs to reset expectations and get back to the music that brought him here in the first place. We need to feed the streets right. I hate to say it, the bad stuff didn't really slow down for Roddy either. He had fans mad at him, so he deactivated his social media. But we also had his baby mama calling him a lean addict in a custody battle for their kids at the same time. So Roddy Ricch was in a custody battle for his 3-year-old at the time. She was claiming that Roddy Ricch was not only a drug addict, but he was also a gang member, and she was feeling unsafe about their kid being around Roddy Ricch. An article from Hip Hop DX wrote this. According to the blast, Roddy Ricch's baby mama is asking a Los Angeles County court to give her sole custody of a 3-year-old child she allegedly shares with the Compton rapper, while also making allegations about his gang affiliation and drug use. She said, Roddy Ricch is gang affiliate, and he has been arrested on gun charges, DV charges, and regularly indulges in promethazine use, all of which are concerns for myself and our son. She also claims that Roddy Ricch cut her off financially and is being forced to move out of the home he provided. She's also asking the court to establish paternity in the case for him to pay, which amounts to $240,000 annually. He's a very successful and high-paid entertainer and goes by the name of Roddy Ricch, she said. She also said that he has a net worth of $25 million and commands fees of $500,000 for appearances. Now, the situation itself was crazy. We had her claiming all of this about Roddy Ricch while trying to get the bag out of him. She was saying that he was an absent father, and for a while that was a big point in Roddy Ricch's life. I mean, the nigga was fighting for his kid. And after this legal battle would be going on in the background, about a year later, we would hear something else come from it. Instead of him having to pay her 20 racks a month in child support, it went down to 8K, which is still a lot, but this is not my place to be speaking of. For a while, after all of these situations went down, we wouldn't really hear much from Roddy Ricch. Maybe we get a feature here, we get some singles here, but we didn't get no album. I mean, 2023, 2024,
okay.
We didn't get no album from Roddy Ricch. But fast forward to 2024, Roddy Ricch would kind of come back. Throughout this year, he would drop a couple singles. He was like hinting toward his next project, and that was at the start of 2024. People was thinking, okay, Roddy Ricch might have missed with some of his other projects, but we still believe in him. People was kind of giving him a second chance. People believed in Roddy. They didn't want him to flop. But y'all know how the internet be. People make up their mind, they make up their mind. But some people still had hope and wanted to see how Roddy Ricch's next album in the next few years of his career will play out. So, like I said, he dropped these singles. Fast forward a few months after these singles, Roddy would randomly spark up his whole new rollout. He would get online saying, you know what, I'm dropping an album in December. People was excited. They was like, okay, Roddy Ricch is starting this new rollout. I'm curious what he got to say. And Roddy rollout was really kind of looking good. After he announces this album, next month, guess what happens? November, Kendrick surprise drops, and guess who's a feature? Roddy Ricch. This whole Kendrick album was him really putting on for the West Coast, using this West Coast sound. He had all of these West Coast features, the Tupac influence song. He had a lot going on with this album involving the West Coast. People was like, damn, it's looking good for Roddy. He just announced the album and he just got a feature on Kendrick album. And so people was like, all right, I'm with it. December comes around though, guess what happens? No album. He ends up pushing it back to 2025. But December,
I think I know why. It was too close to the Kendrick album, I think. And then whoever like made the dates or the release dates, that right there is literally 7 days after Drake's album. So he had to like somewhat, I guess you could say, compete with Drake then. I mean, the Drake hype would have helped them, but you got to think about this, guys. Kendrick's album was like hyped as fuck, right? It was hyped for months, not just a week or like a 1 month or anything like that. And then February was the Super Bowl, right? Like the end of things. But Drake released his album, his collab album, on the 14th. So I'm pretty sure Roddy Ricch is like, fuck. This is a very bad fucking time to release an album. Like, because again, if you release an album by the time when Kendrick released his album and he was like doing the whole thing, people are only talking about Kendrick Lamar at that time. And then when Drake released his album, which is recent, people are only talking about Kendrick Lamar. Sorry, they're only talking about Drake's album at that time. I'm not saying you can't release an album, but I'm just saying like you're pretty much competing with them in so many ways right now. Like hip hop only cares about Kendrick Lamar and Drake right now, for the most part. I'm not saying every rapper is not releasing music or anything like that or good or anything like, but I'm just saying it's just like a bad time. So maybe that's why you pushed it, maybe to March.
Wasn't just a bad time for his album, he was also in some more controversy. I gotta tell y'all this whole story. Okay. So December comes around and Roddy Ricch would be in the news again. These YouTubers was out doing storage hunting. That was their whole thing. He was his content creator and he would go buy storage units, open it as his content. And so one of these storage units that he just so happens to buy was one of Roddy Ricch's storage units. But this wasn't no little regular storage unit.
That was his, bro. Okay, all these stories are coming together now. Because he wanted, like, bro, whoever the guy who bought the storage unit is a fucking dumbass. He would have gotten like 20K for the Grammy or something like that. He would have got a lot of money for it. But he got so greedy, he wanted more. But it got so bad and backlash, he ended up giving the Grammy back for free.
He had some real valuable shit in it. His Grammy with Nipsey Hussle, who passed away back in 2019. So this YouTuber is a YouTuber, content creator, he makes content. He made a video out of opening this Roddy Ricch box, and I'll play you the clip right now.
$280, the reason I bet on this unit, I saw the PS5 little thing right there, Yeezy sled, and mainly that suitcase right there. I searched it up, that's a Tumi suitcase. $1,000 it goes for. Used, probably, let's see, a lot less. Alright, let's see if it's trash or treasure in here, guys. And what do we got? What do we got? Colt La Libre. This looks nice. Look at this. Yo. Oh my god. Let's go. We just came up. We just go. Look at this. Louis Vuitton brand new with the tags. $1,520 retail.
Bro,
Jacquemus. Oh my god. Yo, we came up. We came up. We came up, baby. Drop in the comments for your boy. Jacquemus. I think this is crazy. There's another. Bro. Let me take a deep breath because I'm like my hair and Preston. Yo, baby, come on, bro. Come on. This is the best $280 unit in my life. Hold up, guys. We just got the suitcase open. I didn't want to peek. Live reaction. It could be empty, but there could be something good. Oh. All right, you guys ready? Come on. What the heck is this? Roddy Ricch. There's no way this was his freaking Grammy. Oh. Roddy Ricch Grammy? Was this his freaking locker? Did we just find Roddy Rich's locker? Yo.
That's crazy though.
Oh my god, he didn't leave me anything else, but
this ain't
I
Storage
don't even know
Wars,
what to
guys.
say.
It was not fake,
this
by the
is
way.
priceless.
This is not like cloud chase. Wait, what's cloud chasing?
The recording
Wait,
of
it
Cameron
wasn't fake
person.
cloud chasing.
I just found the Roddy Rich's storage unit. 5x5. He left me some goodies in here. A recording of Roddy Ricch featured best rap performance with Nipsey Hussle and Hit Boy. 2019. Look at this.
Damn.
Oh my god, this is crazy. Oh my god, you know, Sonny, bro. Rich, we checked it. It says $520 credit. We put it in. Still has the credit, so.
I believe Storage Words has like they add like some expensive stuff. I heard or an article about it. Like they fixed so like they put some expensive items in the Storage Words or something. They just cut out a lot of the stuff. Yeah. I mean, I know that also they edit to make it better and stuff like that. I know that, but I heard about like they add like again, not everything in reality show is real. So I'm pretty sure they always add like at least some because again they got to find something, right? That's the whole show is to find treasure in storage. Not every storage can be like something, so they always have to put something in there, I believe. That's a nice little bonus. Looks like I have $520 in pizza. Roddy Ricch, if you're seeing this, if you want it back, send me a message. Let's work something out. Obviously, we're gonna get everything on video, but let me know.
And so in the vid, he was like, Roddy, if you want a Grammy, just hit me up and we could talk about it. And this where this situation started to go left. Instead of Roddy Ricch just hitting him back and getting the Grammy back, it turned into some whole other shit. We had Roddy Ricch allegedly snapping on him and threatening him.
All right, guys, the update you guys have been waiting for, and to be honest with you, I think it's time. I made this video. I need to clarify things. A lot has been going on.
Kenny from Storage Words was on live with the YouTubers I mod for. Oh, really? That's funny. He was saying that anyone can be a Storage Word so long as they have personality, and a lot of what they do doesn't make it on TV. Yeah, that's what, like they end up hiring new people, or they end up getting a contract or something like that. If they're like, yeah, you just gotta really stand out from the crowd, pretty much. Yeah, that's how you get the deal. Is Storage Word still happening, by the way?
On these past couple days since I found this, never did I think it was gonna turn into a nightmare. But whatever, let me tell you guys, yes, I got in contact with Roddy Ricch and his assistant. And no, I'm not asking for $1 million for this, none of that. All I wanted was a video of me giving it back to him, or at least a video of him telling me thank you. That's all I want. Clearly, that wasn't possible. Guys, this has turned into a nightmare for me having this thing. Threats to me and my family, pictures of my house.
Stupid.
My whole full social, all my family is getting affected by this. All the people saying that, and I'm getting threats saying to take down my videos, that it's a threat, it's a disrespect to Nipsey's family. Guys, this was never my intent. Respect to Nipsey's family and everyone. You guys know.
I mean, honestly, it's just, I call this clean clout, if that makes sense. He bought a random storage unit. He made content out of it. It turns out to be from a rapper that had a Grammy in there. That is clean clout content. It's not like he he like robbed him or he stole from him. He bought it legally, the storage. So I don't understand why people hate him for that, right? That's the part I never understood. It's like he did it legally. He didn't like steal it. He didn't steal from him. And then Roddy Ricch is his dumbass is like, bro, I'll give he was like, I'll give you the Grammy back. I just want a video out of it. Like, you know, I think it'd be really cool for content. It'll help me out. I'll give your Grammy back. All good. I don't want I don't again, I don't know if he was asking for money at that point. Maybe he was lying. I don't remember fully. But it's like, I don't understand why just do that, bro. It's all good. It's a funny story in a way. Like, hey, bro, thanks for giving my Grammy back at least, you know? Because he pretty much legally owns it now. That's the thing. If he even tried to sue him or whatever, he would have win. Because legally buying it, he owns it now. Because he bought it from his storage and he wasn't paying. It's gonna refer to yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like he didn't get robbed. Like there was nothing illegally that happened there.
Know that this is what I do for a living. I post videos of what I find in storage units. Did I think this was gonna be in there? No. All I made was a video of me finding this, and that's it. Never was it to disrespect anybody or any of that. I just want to clarify that. You guys know this is what I do for a living. Obviously, I don't want anything to do with this anymore. It's affected me and my family. Never did I think that me trying to do something good by giving it back would turn into a nightmare.
I would just keep it at that point.
Clearly, I think at the end we got it resolved, and I'm gonna go to the police station today. Meet up with, I guess, 2 of his assistants that said that we're gonna pick it up, and that's it. I don't want anything to do with it. Nothing anymore.
I would be petty as fuck and keep it, and then I'll report him to the cops. If it ever I'll try to get evidence of him threatening my life. Like fuck you at this point. I'll be petty as fuck. Like no, that's not cool. Because that means he will lose his whole career at that point. So it's like I'm like, bro, fuck you. I'm keeping it. I'm being petty as fuck at this point, and that's it. I'll report you to the cops because he's not a gangster, dude. So it's not like a street code or anything like that. So at that point, it's like, hey, fuck you. At that point, fuck you.
More. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna go to the police station today, give that back, and bye. That's it. No disrespect to anyone. I don't want you guys to think that my videos are just. No disrespect, respect to everyone watching. This was never my intent, all right?
This one of them situations that's real weird because me personally, if it was me and I went and I purchased this storage unit and it just so happened to be his Grammy in there, I mean, if you want it back, you got to give me the bag. I'm the one who bought this. You should have kept it with you.
See? Because legally, he legally owns it. That's the thing. He didn't steal it. It's legally his. That's his Grammy. You know what I mean? If he wanted to, he could take that nameplate out there and put his name in there if he wants to. He legally owns it. He could do whatever he wants with it. It's like I would put my name. Oh. At that point, bro. What the
but
fuck?
eventually, he did meet up with Roddy Ricch peoples at the police station to give him the Grammy back.
For safety.
And when everything came out, Roddy Ricch would come online responding, and he kind of went against what old dude said. He felt like he was being extorted for his own Grammy. He said old dude hit him up. He was trying to get 50 racks for the Grammy, but Roddy and his peoples was trying to offer him 10K. And I think Roddy felt like it was a problem that he was getting charged for this Grammy, even though it was his. But
legally, it was his. That's the thing. It's like, bro, it's your fault you didn't pay your fucking monthly payment for the storage. Boo-hoo. This is the real world. It is what it is, bitch. Like, this is not like kindergarten bullshit. Like, what the fuck? This is the real fucking world. Give him one? Yeah, give him a fucking chain. Yeah, what he was wearing, yeah. Give him one of these, 3 chains. Give all the chains or some shit, dude.
For this Grammy, even though it was his. But you should have never left it in an unpaid storage locker if you didn't want somebody to find it. You know that's what happened. Nigga, if you don't pay that storage, somebody else come take it. Anything in there is theirs now. That Grammy was his. But this what Roddy had to say.
Returning the Grammy, a video, all that type of shit. It was more so about $50,000.
It is what it
Once
is,
we received the news that the kid had the Grammy and everything, We get on the phone with him immediately. We found the video at like 1,000 views, called him immediately, you know what I mean, and like offered him something, but he was basically saying like the money we was on ain't, you know what I mean. I'm like, bro, I got like 10 bands for you, whatever. He like, man, that ain't shit. I want 50,000. First he asked me for an AP. then he asked for 50,000, and
he has every right to do it. I'm sorry to say it. He has every right to ask for 50,000. You don't want to pay? Grammy is mine. Legally, it's mine. I'm sorry. It is what it is at that point. He's a fucking reseller. You know what I mean? He's the reseller. That's his job. That's what he does for a living. You know? What the fuck? Like, do I like it? No, but he has every right to do it. It's legally, he has a right to do it. I hate Pokemon scalpers, right? Look at this. I'm actually going to post a video or showcase a video about goddamn scalpers. I'm not a fan of them. Fuck them. But they have legally to do it. I hate them. I don't like them. But it is what it is. You know, that's just like the real world. The real world is a bitch.
I followed you out the parking, and then...
This video is the craziest scalper POV you'll ever see. So this guy's live streaming while this lady's restocking, and he gets called out for stalking and recording people without their permission. I screen recorded the whole thing, so I'll show you the craziest parts.
How did you follow me, though?
I followed you out the parking, and then I saw you, and then I went straight to this one, waited a couple hours. I let you do your thing. Because I'm not here for anything else besides some cardboard cards.
Yeah, but it's like you can't be following, like, chasing us like that. You know, you just have to go to...
Yeah, you cannot do that. Yeah, that's I believe that's... Yeah, you cannot stalk people, okay?
The store. Because if you do that, we'll report it to security, you know? This time I'm talking to you just face to face, letting you know.
It's actually crazy how this guy's trying to justify following this lady from store to store, trying to get the restock.
Thursday for 6 hours.
Can you not stream while we're purchasing hours right now? Just certain hours.
Sure.
Don't show us on camera.
So this girl goes up to him and asks him to stop recording her. And he says okay, but afterwards he keeps saying how it's a public property and he can record whoever. Which is just a weird thing to say when you have a camera in someone's face just minding their own business.
Actually, he is wrong. That is not public property. That is a private business. Public is outside, on the sidewalk and park, stuff like that, right? You have every right to record however you want. That's legally. But inside of a store is illegally. Especially a worker told you cannot record inside the store. You cannot record. That's why. What do you think when a worker comes to a person who's streaming or recording, asks them to leave, they have to leave. Some of them are fired about it, but they have to leave. Does the riot have to tell them though? Well, technically, the worker is there. No, right, but the worker is there, right? So, but like, looks like she works for the company, like the machine, all that. So I think what is fair is like it is private property, so technically he is not allowed to record there without permission. You always have to ask permission. You probably are right. She an employee, so but like I'm just it's still not like it. They have every single right to tell them to not record inside of a private property. And I don't know. I think even a person could just tell him that because again, he doesn't own it, right? They don't own it, so it's like. The company owns it, right? So it's like it's not like the public space. She looks like a customer. I don't know, because again, wait, he was talking to work. Oh, these guys are buying cards too. Oh, okay, I missed that part. Sorry.
But it only gets worse from here.
Like, what is it? Like, no, I want it. I don't even know what it is, but I want it because everyone else wants it.
Unrelated to the scalping, but it's actually kind of weird how this guy just recorded the girls walking by him, especially after they already passed. He continued to film them. And these girls didn't even know they were being filmed, unlike the first one who told them to stop.
Yeah,
and all this happens before he actually starts scalping the machine.
What else is left? We still got ETBs. So that's something, I guess.
Bro, here's the thing. I think they should have a limit of how much cards you could get on these what do you call it, machines? Because there's one where I live at a grocery store. It's almost empty. I am not buying any of them, but I'm just saying, like, I think there should be a limit on these. Yeah, it's the live stream, yeah. everything, bro. He's buying everything.
So he grabs all 4 of the Surging Sparks ETBs. He grabs all 6 of the Surging Sparks booster bundles. He grabs all 7 of the 151 booster bundles and all 50 of the Surging Sparks sleeve packs. And he spent $863.94. So this whole situation's actually kind of crazy. And Pokemon's in a position where we got people following restockers around to the point where they feel uncomfortable and feel the need to report it. And there's so many layers to this that it just makes it not right. What are your thoughts on all this?
My personal opinion, I think you should put a limit up to 2 items or something like that, of each thing, right? I'm not saying like 2 items in total, but like 2 items of the set, I guess you could say. Don't collect cards, yeah, that's another thing too, yeah. Like I collect cards, but I collect the illustrator cards, but I don't go crazy with it. I haven't done it in a while. Fuck over scalpers, yeah, pretty much that's another thing too, yeah. Anyways, back to the video. But yeah, legally, this guy is wrong. Even if, like I said, even if the guy asks you for 100,000, you have to either agree with it or disagree with it or work with him. If you don't want to work with him, the Grammy is his. It is what it is.
And so it never was about, oh, you know what I mean, we're gonna do it on just the strength of trying to get it back to you and all that type of. It was more so about trying to get clout off of it, or trying to basically extort me for $50,000. He told me to go to sleep and wake up on it, or go to sleep on it, think about it, right? And this is something that's sentimental to people from where I come from, you know what I mean, and just it's sentimental to us, you know what I mean. So,
what the fuck is sentimental? You left it on a goddamn storage.
For what he's talking about with just people feeling the type of way, he could have got heckled by somebody, I don't know, you know what I mean, and just sending him whatever. People who love Nipsey and who love Roddy, who just, you know what I mean, care a lot about it and want to see that back into my possession. So I don't know what he's talking about with the threats and all that, bro. I got 2 kids, bro. I only play, you know what I mean, I just mind my business, you know what I'm saying. So I don't know what he's talking about with that, but the main thing was just trying to get it back, right? So boom, we come to an agreement of, all right, well, we'll meet you here and get a Grammy back or whatever. So we was like, you know what, since you bringing it back, we're gonna give you some money, you know what I mean, we're gonna give you some money for that. Yeah, y'all worried about the 2 kids, we're gonna give you some money for that. So we was like, bring the clothes too and we'll throw you some money, you know what I mean. And when he ended up coming to the police station that we met up at, he had 2 cops, 3 cameras trying to create a moment out of it. And it just was that the whole situation put a bad taste in everybody on the team out. It put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So everybody just wanted to get the situation done with, wanted to pull up, get the Grammy, you know what I mean, and maybe take care of him if he wanted to be cool.
Hey, bro, I only get okay. What I would have done, I would have 50K or nothing, or all right, I'll accept the 10K. But number 1, I get a video with you. It is what it is, man. It's like clout is a bitch. I'll get a video with you, and I keep the clothes to resell because that's like, hey, founders keepers lose a week. What's the saying again? I forgot the saying. Because again, I'm not a big fan of it, but you gotta understand, like, it is what it is. It's legally binding. Like, if it's legally, I would have been on the side 100%, but it's not.
You know what I'm saying? But he didn't pull up with anything, which was confusing too.
But remember what I said earlier, even though he was in his Grammy controversy, he still had an album that was supposed to come out, but it got delayed and pushed back to 2025. February 21st, 2020. And that was the other day. And we didn't get an album. He ended up pushing the album back again to April 2025. And who knows if he's gonna delay it again. Because his last album, the last project on his Apple Music came out in 2022. And remember, when he had a 3-year gap from 2019 to 2021, fans were starved. We in 2025, your last project came out in 2020. It's another 3-year gap.
Like I already said that why he had to push it. Again, he was going against Kendrick Lamar, right? Which is like, because again, they're the same genre. So he couldn't do that, right? Because Kendrick Lamar's GNX album was just hype as fuck, and people were just pay attention to that album only. You know, like, because again, think about this. Remember the beef when it was happening? Chris Brown dropped one of the craziest, nastiest diss tracks of all time. Nobody really cared. People just forgot about it and moved on. Why? Because people were still talking about the Kendrick and Drake stuff. So it's kind of the same thing with the album. So you couldn't go after him, and then you couldn't go against him, even though he was on an album of DNX. February happened, Super Bowl, right? So I was like, fuck. February 14th, Drake's album drops. Fuck. You know what I mean? It was just really, really bad timing. And for a marketing standpoint, it makes sense why he had to push it. It's the same thing with video games. You don't want to go up against some of the biggest video games coming out at that time. Like, for example, Grand Theft Auto 6. You do not want to be in the month when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. Or even 2 months. Or even 3 months. 2 months. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. I am telling you right now. You do not want to compete with that game. All right? I'm telling you right now. And it's the same thing with this kind of like his albums. Like, you cannot... Yeah.
Fans just starved again. So I don't know what Roddy really got going on. And this was really his last chance to make his career comeback. This was his last chance to have this comeback. And he keeps delaying the album. He keeps delaying the one album that people are kind of excited for. It's gonna hurt him. Unless he come out and this album's some fire. Like,
they were giving them money for the clothes already. No, I know that, but I don't know how much though. Like, was it worth, that kind of thing? Were they paying like price tag? Or were they lowballing him? Like, again, if they wanted the clothes, man, you got to pay price tag or double at this point, because I would be annoyed as fuck at that point. And also the Grammy too, like, which is like Price's thing, like the Grammy thing. I'm not even gonna like charge for that. Obviously, like, hell no. If that was, unless I heard that wrong. But the Grammy plus the clothes. Yeah, my $280 investment better turn into like a $20K, $30K investment. Like, it's because that's how much it's worth or more,
Like, hit songs on it. I don't know what's gonna happen for Roddy Ricch. Maybe it sells good, maybe it doesn't. But Roddy Ricch is an example of why you need to feed your fans no matter what line of career you in. You gotta feed your fans. You gotta give them something. Playboi Carti, for example. Yeah, he doesn't drop a lot of music, but he knows how to keep his fans interested. Frank Ocean, that man hasn't dropped an album in 10 years, but his fans is so interested in him. If he comes out and drop an album right now, it's selling 200K first week. That's the thing. Roddy Ricch was not in a position to be taking these gaps like he taken. After everything this man done did over the years and went through, we really do gotta see how the situation unfolds for him, how his album turns out for him, how the rest of his career pans out for him. What do y'all think about Roddy Ricch?
Yeah, I think the guy's dumb. Not for the music, but for the storage thing. But other than that, like, again, it was just really bad timing, dude. He can't go against Kendrick and
Roddy Ricch is such a...
That's the only thing that people in hip hop really care about out of everything, guys. Everybody needs a gimmick to be famous. Talent is secondary. Ooh, that's kind of true. It's because people knew him for sound in the box, not his catalog. That's just one gimmick that didn't make him last. That's true. It could be like a gimmick rapper at that time, or at this time now. The fact that people don't give the artists time when when new music is 1 to 2 years old after the last album's white music don't last anymore. I hate this microwave generation mentality. That's true. That's a great analogy of microwave music, right? Because again, that's that's actually what you could explain with like Drake's albums. They're like microwave. They're good for a little bit, but they're very forgettable. They're not a meal you want to remember. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck kept a Grammy in a storage, right? He won the custody battle. Look it up. Did he really? Are you so mean? His feature on Spock's Mode, the Woo is incredible. I always been a fan for that alone. I wouldn't have paid that. I wouldn't pay that nice either. That brought my storage unit. That's why he got finessed and got nothing for it. Yeah, no. I understand why people were like, I don't want to pay for him. It's mine. But like I said, man, it's unethical. It's probably like it's kind of like shit, right? But he's legally buying. He legally has the right to do it if he wants to. Yeah, he owns it. You know, he he has every right to like to ask money for it. Can't be that sentimental to him if he left it in a basically abandoned random unit. Exactly. The loaded screen, GTA 5 music in the background. As much as every rapper needs a gimmick, I like to say that he only fell off because he dropped a classic album and then disappeared for 2 to 3 years and came back and dropped some straight garbage. Yeah, if I was a rapper, I would have like come up with like themes with my concepts of albums, and then like if it's like you know how like Eminem brought like uh the death of Sim City 2? Like he made it like you know like some rappers make sequels to their albums like theme wise. Like I always wish that Kanye West would have made a sequel to his like 808s album or my Dark Fantasy album, like a second version or a sequel to those albums. I think that's a really cool concept of making sequels of classic albums. Sometimes, I mean, it could backfire. Don't get me wrong, but like after a certain point in time, you know, I think I would love that. But yeah, if I was a rapper, I would have think for sure concepts and storytelling of music. That's like I feel like that's like the whole point. Doesn't mean like you can't make bullshit and party music. Because again, you need those. Let's be honest. But I think like when you make more of a concrete, more fulfilling like album, they're way more memorable instead of just a song. You know. So, anyways, a good video overall. I again, not a big fan of scalpelers. Not a big fan at all. But I am on the side of the stories. The guy who bought the storage, he had every right to ask any money he wanted, and Robert tried to either deny it or accept it. It is what it is. But overall, we'll see what this album does. But here's the problem: Playboy Cardi, he may be dropping in March, which again he's dropping in April. So a Playboy Cardi drops the album in March. It may hurt him or may not, because again it's a month. So we'll see. So yeah, good video.